George is there in Washington, D.C. at the National Cathedral as we celebrate the life of former President George H.W. Bush. It's going to be a special morning, George.
It certainly is, Robin, here at the National Cathedral, which President Bush himself called the symbol of our national spiritual life, overlooking the center of our secular life, and those two worlds coming together today. A national day of mourning all across the country. Official Washington is closed today, and the service will be held at what was essentially, for many years, President Bush's home parish. When he was vice president, he lived right down the street here at the Naval Observatory. His children went to school here. One of his grandchildren baptized here, and today, the funeral for the former president right here in the National Cathedral.
And George, at this hour, the president's casket still lying in state in the Capitol Rotunda. People waiting hours overnight to come pay their respects. And you can look at those lines. We now know 42,000 people came to visit the president.
And of course, many members of the Bush family are there in Washington for the service. Former President George W. Bush and his wife Laura staying in the Blair House, George,
where they were met by President Trump and Melania Trump. But yesterday, I'm here with our chief White House correspondent, John Karl. Of course, John, they're going to be making that journey up the road, up Massachusetts Avenue, right here to the cathedral today.
And George, we witness a piece of history today and a rare moment of unity in our deeply divided country, as all of the living presidents will come together right here at the National Cathedral to celebrate the life, the remarkable life of George Herbert Walker Bush.
Overnight, a surprise visit by former President George W. Bush and First Lady Laura Bush to the Capitol Rotunda, greeting some of the thousands, old and young, who have come to say goodbye to his father. Earlier, the former President and First Lady welcomed the current President and First Lady at Blair House, where the Bush family has been staying across the street from the White House. The tensions and resentments of the Bush-Trump relationship have been put aside for the occasion. Laura Bush, with lots of family in tow, visited the White House earlier, posting photos of the visit on Instagram. One with the Bushes in front of a portrait of the 41st president draped in black. In another, the former First Lady posed with some of the White House resident staff, who she calls her old friends. The tributes poured in throughout the day Tuesday. This unforgettable moment. Former Senator Bob Dole, 95 years old, and like Bush, a hero of World War II, helped to his feet for one last salute to his former political rival and fellow member of the greatest generation. Former CIA chiefs gathered to honor the one-time CIA director, as did some of the former military brass from the first Gulf War. Sports icons too, Peyton Manning and Phil Mickelson, and President Bush's service dog, Sully. Outside, among those paying tribute, some longing for what the elder Bush called a kinder, gentler politics.
He was one of a kind, and he'll be greatly missed.
At today's service, all of the living presidents and first ladies, and many of the leaders who interacted with George Bush on the world stage. From Lech Walesa, the labor leader and Polish president who helped bring down communism in Eastern Europe, to Prince Charles. They will hear the eulogy of another President Bush, remembering his father.
And after today's service, George H.W. Bush will make one last journey aboard the plane that is Air Force One, George, to fly to Houston for one more service, and then ultimately to be buried beside Barbara Bush.
And we've seen such good coordination between the Bush family and the Trump White House.
And they've been very serious about it, none of the drama that we've seen over the years. And all eyes will be on one row back here, where you'll see the presidents together, the Obamas seated next to the Trumps.
And the Clintons and Carters as well. Okay, John Karl, thanks.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.